Hi lovelies, I can't believe it that we're coming into September. So I've come on just to do our energy and astrology reading for the next month or the month ahead. So I'm going to start off with our Oracle and Tarot, and then I'll go through my list of bits and bobs because it's such a busy, a busy month. So hoping you've all managed to get through the energies of August without too unscathed. Our supermoon was quite intense. I know I was particularly hyper and then needed days of sleeping. I was so exhausted. But yeah, slightly manic energy actually, but very good for manifesting and clearing and all those lovely things to complete. So yeah, really nice ceremonies that we can do. And again this month, the moon ceremonies. So we'll try and see if we can post some bits because we've got the equinox as well. So anyway, let's get into our tarot cards. So I'm going to shuffle and deal those. I haven't got my other camera, I'm sorry. So I'm just going to do them while we sit here. So I'm sorry you have to watch. Got 3 there. So I think this is Anubis. I might be wrong, I apologise if so. He's like the jackal. Again, I think he's a jackal, Egyptian. And the sarcophagus. And then, I think Anubis as well was the king of the underworld, wasn't he? We have, I think these are arum lilies. Again, if I'm wrong, let me know. But I think that's what they're called. They look a bit like peace lilies, but I think they're arum lilies. And then we have the tulips. I love tulips. So that's those. Oh, we've got some flyers here. Oh, on the fly. Okay. So we have the mystic, the nectar, more flowers, and the shadow. Oh, and there's actually in the deck one that's flipped itself, and that is Gnosis. I think that came up in someone's reading this month actually. It might have been last month. Okay, so let's do our gorgeous cloud cards. So we're looking at our energies for September. Energies are there for September. Whoa, 2 energies. So these are called Lacunus. I may have said that wrong. I'm just reading it off the back. These aren't oracle cards. These are just cloud cards that I love to use. I'm really drawn to them actually. And this is called Cavum. So again, they just talk about different cloud formations, but I often get different sense of energies from them. So yeah, they're really lovely to use. I've got our Moonology cards. I think we all like our Moonology cards. So energies for September, please. Oh, what did we have? Full moon in Virgo. And this is You Are Good Enough. Well, we're in Virgo season, aren't we? And we do have obviously our full moon coming up near the end of the month. Not sure if we've gone into Libra by that point, actually. I think we go into Libra maybe the day after. Try our dream ritual cards. Oh, so we have here ego, release, flow, and record, or record because it's a note. Keeping our records straight is what we need to do at the moment. And then I'm just going to see if we've got any tarot. A lot of cards have come out actually for this month, so I think it is replicating the fact that it is such a very pivotal month, I think, for a lot of us energy wise. A lot of clearing and a lot of manifesting. What are the major energies for September, please? Oh, we've got a flipper in there. Come here. got the Three of Swords. What else jumped out? And the Eight of Wands. Something's coming in very quickly there. Always makes me think of speed and action. Main energies, please. Okay. We have the Two of Wands. The Justice card. And we have the Page of Pentacles. Okay, so let's have a look. Oh, and we've got the Nine of Cups. He was hidden in the middle. Look at that. All his cups are in a row. It's a lovely one. Love the Nine of Cups. Often to do with wish fulfillment. Things coming to you that you've been waiting for. So I sense, looking at the Anubis card first, I feel like there has been a time of some shadow work that's been going on, people working on the things that they find difficult or challenging, and that they're being assisted in that. They're feeling that energies are helping them to clear some of that smoke away, that they've maybe to help them see clearly for something. And it feels like those things are coming to the surface if they haven't already come to the surface. But you can see them in the card here. I don't know if it's clear. But all along the bottom of the card there are all these beautiful gems and artifacts. And I feel like that's those things within you that maybe you've suppressed or pushed down somewhere, and they are now rising up to the surface because you're doing this work. And yeah, it's like you're mastering something. You're mastering those emotions that possibly before were triggering, and you might be noticing and thinking, I'm not as triggered as I was by this anymore. If this situation happened before, I would have been very triggered. And then we've got these two beautiful flower cards. And I sort of feel like that's the energy of this month. This is, things are in full bloom. And it is that time of harvest. It's that time of abundance and appreciation of all we have. And also I get a sense of gifts coming in, maybe people showing you their gratitude for parts of your personality or behaviours, things you do, that gratitude is being seen but also rewarded this month. I do hope so. And then we've got our beautiful Mystic card, which I feel, again, it's that time of the transformation has taken place. There's lots of transformation I sense this month. It's a real time of realising how far you've come, realising how much you've grown, and this inner light growing within you all the time, but also that you're seeing in yourself the changes that you're bringing about, those positive things that you're seeing. It's a bit like the working on the shadow side. It's noticing that you aren't reacting in the same way, or noticing that in the past you may have felt uncomfortable in a situation, or that you may not have even taken an opportunity that came, and now you feel ready to do that. So I think that is definitely an acknowledgement of the shift that's occurred and that growth that's already taken place, and you're now sort of reaping the rewards of all those things that you planted, you looked after, and now they're coming to fruition, and you're sort of just noticing, thinking, oh, that's nice, that's a nice feeling, I don't feel this way anymore. And yeah, just noticing your growth. Yeah, and again, the Nectar card. So I feel like it's in touching distance, this sense of the things that you have set out to achieve. They're so close, you can almost taste them, you can almost touch them. And so there's no more hurdles to overcome. It's like you've come all the way through. And now it's time for that sweet nectar. It's time to enjoy the fruits of your labours, all your hard work, and all the inner work you've been doing and have done in the past. It's now time for you to be able to accept those rewards and take them on board. And I think this is, again, it reminds me of the fact that we're going from our daylight, you know, from our sunshine now with the equinox coming up into darkness. So our days start getting shorter, unfortunately, from this month, later in this month. So we have equal day of daylight and nighttime from, I think it's around the 23rd. I will let you know because I've got it all written down with the astrology. But from then our days become, that's our day where the night and day is the same length, around 12 hours each. And then from then we start losing a little bit of daylight each day, unfortunately. We get into those darker months. So it is enjoying the sunshine, enjoying the fruits of your labour, grab hold of all of those things that are coming to you in abundance, with loads of gratitude before we start having that downtime through autumn, obviously when things start falling away, ready for our winter months where things do tend to stand still or freeze to a stop sometimes. So yeah, enjoy this powerful time. And there's another one for the shadow. So again, it's the night and day, realizing that we're coming to the end of these summer months, but also a reminder of the shadow work that we've just talked about, that to continue with the shadow work, because all the time you're enjoying the fruits of your labor that you've already planted. It's always good to continue to plant more seeds and nurture them so that you're continually working on yourself, because nothing stays the same, everything changes. But the shadow work you've done previously won't be the shadow work you need to do in the future. And so it's just taking regular looking inwards, or if you do find something that triggers you or you find really challenging, or you find that you make excuses not to do things, just having a look at them and thinking, what's that and what do I need to plant so that I can overcome that in the future. Okay. And I feel like with these cloud cards, that this is a bit of our energy at the moment, of it's coming in peaks and troughs. So we have times where we feel this beautiful energy, but it feels quite gappy. It's not consistent energy at the moment. And I think we're going to continue that into the next month. So it becomes a bit bitty. We're a bit all over the place, ups and downs, and our energy, sometimes it's going to feel really strong and full on, and other times it's going to feel like it's sort of sapping away a little bit. And so a real reminder to take care of yourself on those days. It is important to rest. If your body's saying to you, I've just had enough, or your mind, get into those practices that we talk about all the time, whether it's mindfulness or meditation, just time out for yourself, going for a walk, just sit and do some breathing techniques, breathing exercises, anything that just helps your mind unwind as well as rest your body. So really take notice of those in between days. And it just makes me think of that rainy day, you know, when it's drizzly outside and you think, I just want to wrap up and relax and do nothing. And I think here, this is making me think of something's come full circle for you. So something that was, you've been working on, or something that you've been hoping to come to a conclusion, that's definitely coming this month. It's coming full circle. So there's going to be answers to your questions. There's a tiny gap here, so it may be that it's the end of this month, but you will see that this situation or this challenge that you faced is almost done. You're coming to the end of it. And yeah, it's a calm sky. There's not a storm coming. Greener pastures are ahead, I'm getting in my head. So yeah, things are looking up, things are looking good. And that challenge, as I say, it's done, it's 360, it's all done. And then you'll move on to your next area, your next challenges. But there's always a challenge, and there's always new things to focus your attention on, things to overcome, things to decide to where to put your attention. And so you're going to have that freedom to be able to do that, because this challenge will be over and you'll think, where am I going to focus my attention now? When I say challenges, I don't always mean it's something negative. It might be something you want to work on or learn, or a new area. And I've realised I've missed out the Gnosis card, which looks to me like a full moon. Can't see what's on it, a bit smoky. But the Gnosis card is all to do with knowledge and using your inner guidance. Allow yourself to paint your own picture, is what I've just been told. So using past experience, past knowledge, to be able to focus yourself on your goals, to overcome anything. Yeah, just to do it your way is what I'm being told. Because you can sort of make your own, you decide on how things will be. And this bird here is sort of soaring, going with the flow, and is sort of changing the outline, is blurring the lines. And so if there are situations, maybe you need to step back and look from a new perspective and see if there is something that you think, oh, hang on, have I misinterpreted it? Have I misread it? Can I shift it? Yeah, and overcome it your way, whichever way fits with your past experience, your knowledge, and how you like to do things and how you would like to see the outcome. What future would you like to see, and then work towards it. And then we've got our reminder, always, and it's something I think comes up so many times in readings, is just to know your worth, know you're good enough, know your beauty. And it's almost like we keep our eyes shut when it comes to ourselves. That's what I'm thinking. We don't see our own beautiful traits, not just our outer beauty, but our inner beauty, and our spiritual beauty. And that is like what I think a lot of us empaths see. We see beyond the face, and as beautiful as all our faces are, obviously, it is that inner beauty that shines out, and allows us to show the world who we are, and to show people we're good enough. And by doing that, we have to set our boundaries, and we have to set our own, we have to make our own decisions of where we stand with things. Where do we want it to be? Where's our line in the sand? And not allow others to cross them. And I'm just being told that sometimes we have to say no, and that we don't have to justify that or defend ourselves with that no. Whoever that's I think quite specific for someone. But if you're not good at saying no, or if you do say no, you find people try and push that boundary a little bit, like our kids do, don't they, all the time? And sometimes our partners, or work's another one. They like when you've said, oh, I'm not really sure I can, and they try and push back at you a little bit. It's a time to stand firm in your no and think, no, I know the reason I don't want to do it. I'm good with that, and I don't have to defend it. I'm allowed to say no. So yeah, for somebody or a few of us, that's a good reminder this month. So we move on to our dream realm cards. And I think it's a good time to be careful with our record keeping. Be quite meticulous so that things don't get misunderstood, or anything you're signing or having to write up that's important, double check it. You know, check, what is it they say? Dot the I's and cross the T's, or whatever it is. But yeah, double check anything paperwork wise, or if you're even just sending an email or a text, just double check it, because yeah, it's the splodges that make me think something's, you know, ink splodges. We used to get in trouble for that at school. So yeah, that made me think that there can be trouble if we're not careful with something we write or something we sign or read. Double check it, make sure you're happy with it. And this is making me think by the full moon, around the full moon energy. So if you've got papers signing or something coming in around that time, just double check it. And maybe it is a time to do, if you like journaling or writing, or if you do a diary or something like that, it's a really good practice, isn't it, to be in. And that helps us release our emotions as well. And actually we've got the release card here. So it is a time of, this energy this month is about allowing things to flow through you in order to release them. So however you deal with them, try not to get stuck too much in anything that you find difficult. Work on it as much as you can, and then try and release it, try and let it go. And maybe journaling is another good way of doing that, actually, because once you write things down, you almost take them out of your head, and you don't have to keep holding the responsibility of them within your, within your brain. And so, yeah, just let it flow. And if you're struggling with that overthinking, and there's too much going on, this card with the nature in the background, it's literally go for a walk, do that mindful walking, allow yourself to be fully immersed in the environment around you, so that you're not caught up in all the details in your head. And when it starts coming in, it's just to notice it, because it will come in. No one can go completely blank. So these things do come in, these thoughts come in, and it's to go, oh, I'm thinking about going shopping. Why am I thinking about shopping? I'm going for a walk. Noticing it and thinking, I can think about that later, let it go, let it out of your head. It's getting control of the thoughts, not stopping the thoughts. It's not letting them control you. So if you start noticing them coming in when you're trying to have your time and you want to let go, it's just saying, not now, come back later, and just push them away. It's not to deal with them, but some of those thoughts, such as our daily life, that it creeps in, doesn't it? Oh, I haven't done the washing. Oh, I said I'd do that. Oh God, I've forgotten. Those things, when we were having our time, they can wait. Even if you have to jot it down, put it aside, and then come back to it later on. But yeah, let it out, let it go. And again, this one is flowing, going with the flow. And I feel like that's really attached to the moon this month, because of the threads between the moon and the chair. It is, the moon energy this month is going to be quite intense. It's another supermoon. We've got 4 in a row, but this supermoon is nearest to Earth. So it will be the most powerful of the 4 that we have. We had one last month, and we got the next 2 months to come. But this one is going to be particularly potent. And again, we've got our book here for our journaling or our writing. And let our slippers, definitely a time to be relaxing, taking time for ourselves, allowing things to flow, and where necessary, there's something to do with writing this month. Jot it down, make a note. It may be that you come up with some incredible ideas this month, or you want to make plans for your future goals. So start making a note of the things, maybe there's things you want to manifest, things that you want to let go of, and then utilize the moon. So our new moon for bringing in new cycles, so for manifesting, and the full moon often for completing cycles. Although both you can set an intention for, particularly the full moon, for the things you want to complete and then the things you want to bring in. So yeah, it's a really good time this month to be doing that. Rituals, manifesting, any sort of moon ceremonies that you fancy the idea of. This is a really potent time to use them. So let's have a look at our tarot, which often brings in a lot more detail, or it sort of confirms what we were already saying. So we've got the Page of Pentacles, which is all to do with, it's like a childish energy. He's the page, he's not the king yet. So it's like an adolescence phase. So he's still got that adolescence energy. So he's very eager, full of courage and ambition. And he takes on board new opportunities as they come. He's not afraid to look at those opportunities and think how successful I'm going to be. I'm going to bring in all this success. So yeah, and also because it's a 2, the Page of Pentacles is a 2, the pages are all 2s. It's to do with balancing. So there's a lot of balancing this month between emotions, finances, connections, yourself, your spiritual side, and your more logical earth side. So yeah, make sure you're balancing all those things this month where you can. And the 8 of Wands, again, I said this is about speed. So things that come in are going to come in quite quickly. Your emotions might change quickly. Your feelings will change quickly. You might jump from one idea to another. But it's a really good time for moving ahead. So if you have ideas, it's a good time to take action. Jump in on them and think, I'm going to get it done. Now's the time. So yeah, it's all to do with speed, and it can be to do with truths and fairnesses coming in, that maybe you feel that something's been unfair in the past. This period is going to bring in that fairness for you, and yeah, truths, rebirth, yeah, like change, transformation, which we were already talking about, weren't we, about the transforming in the reading earlier with the mystic. The Three of Swords has come up, which can be about heartbreak, and suffering and things like that. So it may be that there has been a period that you have found difficult, and this card also talks about truth, and actually the quote on here is, "A harsh truth is better than a soft lie." So maybe there is an area of, you may need to speak your truth, or maybe someone will speak their truth to you, and that's not always easy. That can feel very scary, and sometimes we panic about having to stand in our truth and tell people what we really think. But actually, generally speaking, it does make things better in the long run, even if it's tricky at the time. And it also can be that there's a situation involving three people, or there's three situations and you're having to maneuver through them, three different energies. It's often a card of growth, funnily enough. Because through pain and suffering, we often find growth and ways to move forward. And that's often because we are finding ways to move beyond the suffering and the pain, if you like. We're finding ways to get through it, and that often brings growth. And this is actually a Libra energy, and we are going into Libra at the end of the month next for September. So I would think possibly that anything like this sort of energy is coming up towards the end of the month. It doesn't feel like a big energy. It's only it's a 3. It's not a 10. It's not it's not up that end of the scale. But it might feel heavy, and it might feel a bit challenging at the time, for anyone going through a period where they need to be told something, or they have to say something and they think, oh, I really don't want to do it, I don't want to tell them that. But yeah, you're being asked just to take a deep breath and be truthful wherever you can be. Yeah, even if it's a harsh truth, it says, doesn't it? So, and we have another, we have 2 more 2s actually. So we've got the 2 of Wands, which to me is like, you're poised and ready. The world is in your hand. The world is your oyster, but you're just stuck in between 2 things, sort of waiting. So yeah, there's this energy of maybe a decision, or it's a period of planning, but you know where you're going, you've got your direction, and you're just delayed for some reason. There's something you're waiting for. Maybe the timing's just not right. Again, it's a 2, so it's all about balancing things. It's about the first steps that you take, those tentative steps for something. So maybe you have a new idea, or there's a new energy that you're just stepping into. You're looking out, and you're just making those first plans and decisions of how to bring this thing together. And because it's 2, it's often about union as well. So it might be that you're coming together with others, maybe 2 other people, or it's you as 2 people, or sometimes it can be that you're between 2 people and you're making decisions and thinking, I'm going to step this forward, I'm going to help move this along. And then you have the Justice card in the energy for this month. Again, that is a balance. That's a 2, and the scales of justice, obviously all to do with balance, all to do with fairness, clarity, truth, accountability, and using your own intuition to make decisions, and to know that if you do use your intuition and you are a fair person, if there's a situation where it's been out of balance, that will be coming into balance this month, in your favour, because you are the fair and just individual. there's also, because of the sword here, it always makes me think that there's communication to be had. So maybe you're going to have to communicate something, or make a decision with something, and then that will be balanced fairly. But yeah, definitely use your own intuition here. Again, this is a Libra energy, so I'm thinking the end of the month. This does make me think these two are linked, really. The 2 and 3, something shifting and moving, which is good. It's not an energy that you get stuck in, but it is an energy for the end of the month. And then you have the 9 of Cups, which is like the wish fulfillment for like all your cups are lined up and something you have worked hard towards has come to fruition. And so yeah, it's attainment, accomplishment, real optimism. And actually on the card it says everything has turned out well, enjoy your success. So like we said, this is the time of abundance. It's the time to enjoy all of your hard work. Yeah, and there's a real sense of being in flow, being happy, and just trusting that you're in the right place and that everything seems to be happening as it should, and in your favor, for your best, like for your highest self, really. And this is Pisces energy, and our moon, I think, is Pisces energy this month. I think it might be the full moon in Pisces, actually. I will double check when we go through the astrology. So yeah, real mixed bag of emotions during this month, but I do think we are going to come... Oh, hang on, I've just seen that there's another card flipped in the deck, actually. Temperance. Another balancing card. And it's a 5 energy, so that's lots of change and movement, transition, and again, yeah, it's taking everything, using your intuition again to balance everything. It's very similar to justice, but there's a lot of tranquility, serenity, and a transfer of energies. It's like keeping one foot on the ground and one in the water. It's dipping your toe, but keeping that grounded balance. So yeah, keeping yourself thinking with your spiritual side, but also connecting to your heart and head. It's balancing all those things together, particularly when dealing with any challenging situations or decisions that you're making. Use those 3 elements. Use your spirit side, heart and head. Come together. Let them all come together to help you with that juggling of the decision. What am I going to do? What shall I say? What shall I think? How do I feel? And yeah, really stay in that grounded energy if you can, whilst you're making that decision. And actually, I've just been drawn to the volcano. There's a volcano erupting in the background there. So there might be something that feels a little bit emotive or volatile that you're dealing with. Again, it's that energy, isn't it, of that we said where we looked at the justice and the 3 of swords, that energy. Don't know why that was hiding in the pack. And I think I have actually missed another card. So I don't know why there's something hidden this month. Something might come about that you've either information you've been waiting for, or information that is very useful that you didn't know was there, and it's going to help you somehow this month, because these cards have been tucked under just the way they've come, and in the deck, as I said, it was flipped over, and this one is the ego card. So we have to balance our ego, don't we? And it's a good thing to have some ego, otherwise we'd have no self-confidence or self-worth. But it's a really fine line between that self-worth rolling over into something where it's a bit unpleasant and we're a little bit overconfident. And so it's accepting that there's ego, but I'm sensing that a lot of the energy this month is about coming out of this desert energy, where it's the energy of lack and lack of self-esteem, lack of self-confidence, and actually having a bit more ego. Allow yourself a bit of ego. You don't have to be immodest, but there's something telling you to recognize that you are this beautiful oasis. a lot of people turn to you because they see you, they seek you out for help, and for a place of nurture, yeah, and serenity and calm. And again, it's all around that full moon. So I think for some of us, if we are in this lack mentality, or just not realizing how valued we are and how valuable we are, is to come down into this energy. And if people do turn to you, and then that's how they see you, and a lot of the time it is trying to see yourself as others do. Really accept the compliments, accept that those people who turn to you, they turn to you for a reason, and then try and see that within yourself, and just feel into that energy. Think about the people you feel that with, and realize that you must be on an equal level, if not, you know, higher, in the terms of your own energy. Yeah, and just trust in it. Step into a bit of ego, I think, for this month, possibly. So talking of this month, let's have a look at the astrology. As always, I write it down because there's always so much, and I'm not good at remembering dates or words clearly, as you all know by now, I think. So this month is eclipse season. So we do have a lunar eclipse, and we have the full moon, and we also have the autumn equinox. So those three events as well run almost back to back, and so those energies are mingled in together. So the energy there is going to be, I imagine most of us will feel something within that period, okay, but we'll all feel something slightly different. But the beginning of this month, it's a time for really focusing on your inner strength, your health particularly. Really look after your health at the beginning of this month, and you're looking after your your inner self. Take time to think, where am I, how do I feel, am I okay? I think sometimes we can be guilty of not realizing we're about to become overwhelmed until we're overwhelmed, and then it's too late. But we allow ourselves to slowly decline to a point where we think, I just need to stop now, and then it's too much, isn't it, by that point? So yeah, definitely a time for looking at our own energy field and protecting it, protecting our boundaries, and really think of your body as a temple. What are you putting into it? When do you feel at your best? Do you eat and drink things and then think, oh, I feel awful for eating that, or just your body feels sluggish? This is the time to not do those things. Because we're in that time of abundance and harvest, it's really hard, isn't it? Because we do have a lot of beautiful things around, but it is a time just to take note of how you feel, and then work on the things that make you feel below that. Where's that level where you think, oh, I feel amazing, and then anything that brings you down below that, try and cut it out just for the beginning of this month. So yeah, it's all about standing up for yourself, conserving your energy, because it's, as I said, a very energetic month. And then by the end of the month, we're going to start to feel that there's an ending coming for something we've been trying to navigate. So again, it's like this, I said, something's coming full circle by the end of the month. That's our overall. So we have, it's a highly transformative time. And from the start of the month, we're in this grounded energy because we're in Virgo, as I said. So that came in at the end of August. And we go into this grounded energy, and not everyone enjoys the Virgo energy, and then others of us become very organized and structured, and then for others they're not. It's quite a challenging time, the Virgo energy, for them. So depending on how you feel with it, and then we jump straight into the new moon on the 2nd. So we go straight in, and it's going to help you feel very certain about certain things in your future. So it's gonna, if there's a plan you've had ahead, it's really going to help you see where you're going and that you're making steps to get there. So yeah, you might feel like there's an end in sight to certain challenges as well, but definitely something, if you've been planning something, particularly from the last full moon, you're going to see that you're making headway, that you're actually making steps to get there. So that's from the 2nd. And then the next day we have Mars squares up to Neptune. And this is going to help you with your spiritual connection. We talked about that in this reading, actually, of remaining connected with your guides, keep communicating. It doesn't matter whether that's through just doing meditation to connect to your guides, whether or not you use a pendulum or you use oracle, connecting regularly and trying to communicate. Ask, you know, if you're not sure about something or you want help with something, definitely ask the question. So yeah, that leads right up for the first few weeks. Really is a good time to use that connection, and then by the 7th, it's time to really be careful with our communication with our records. It's this energy, so there is a risk of things being lost in translation. So that is exactly what we said, wasn't it? But also, you may learn something. There may be information that comes to you that helps you with a situation. It's going to come in and you'll think, oh, that's handy. And I'm being told it lands right in your lap. So that might be for some of you, that something's going to land in your lap and you'll think, oh, it's a gift. But also it's time to not believe everything you hear, because there's this lost in translation, sorry. People may be telling you things that are misinterpreted. So just take everything with a little pinch of salt, or have a rethink. Don't allow things to be seen as gospel. Just think, I might have a little look at that before I take it on board. And then by the 12th, it's a real period of expansion and growth, because the sun squares off with Jupiter at that point. So it really does bring in this personal power, and you're going to feel yourself able to do things, and you'll think, oh, it wasn't as tricky as I thought it was going to be, or it wasn't as tricky as last time. So if there are things that you've started, new goals, new challenges, new hobbies, you might find by that point you think, this is getting a little bit easier, which is a beautiful energy. And it's a great time then to put more desires out in the universe. So particularly if it's a hobby, maybe you've taken up a new exercise class and you're thinking, this is where I want to go with it, I want to get past this point, then that's the time to really put that out into the universe. Start putting those desires out there. And then we roll straight into this lunar eclipse. It's a partial lunar eclipse, and that is on the 17th. And the lunar eclipses, they will sort of plunge you into change and realignment. And it's sort of, you're going to possibly get a lot of emotional release. So it might be good, it might be, you know, you might feel sadness being released, but it may be a time where you're extremely happy, because we have this period of abundance and that ripening of everything. You may feel that situations that have been stuck or that you haven't been able to navigate, they start to ripen, and so you see that beauty in it, and that euphoria starts to come through, and that sort of fulfillment and satisfaction coming on. Definitely a deep transformation in yourself, in those around you, in situations. And as I said, the following day, on the 18th, so we're still in that lunar eclipse energy, that transformative energy, we have the next full supermoon, which is called the harvest moon, and that's obviously because it's the peak of harvest time, and that is a time for manifesting profound change. So if there are areas of your life you want to make big changes, whether that's within yourself, with your job, your home, whatever it is, your career, that is the moment to manifest. So jot them down, do a moon ceremony, really start thinking about the energies you want to change, where you want to go, and then put that into place on the 18th. Because it's a supermoon, that energy will last for around 3 days. So again, if you don't have to just do it on the night of the full moon, you can do it on each night, and you may get more power into that manifestation. The power of 3 particularly is huge when you're manifesting. But also, you've got the lunar eclipse energy rolling into it, and then you roll into the autumn equinox, again a time of abundance. So those 3 energies together are a very, very potent time. So this is a huge shift. If you want to make huge shifts, plot them out, make your plan. You know, whether you need to draw out a 5-year plan, a year plan, whatever it is you want to do, plot out those major changes you want to see in your life. And this is the beginning of them. This is where they're going to start. This is the seed you're going to plant, and you will be seeing coming in. And as I said, by the 22nd, so we've got the 17th for the eclipse, 18th for the full moon, 22nd is the autumn equinox, which is it's Marbon, I think that's how you say it, Marbon, which is our Earth Mother. We celebrate our harvest, and it's the bounty and the beauty, and our equinoxes bring balance. Because the equinoxes, the day and night, are the same length, this is our 2. We've had so many 2s in our reading that this balance comes in all areas of your life. So you'll suddenly feel this centered, this balance. And we're also going into Libra season, and Libra again is the scales. And so your balance is going to come right in. You're going to feel this is the moment if you need to make decisions. Sorry, the dog's seen a bird. If you need to make any decisions, if you need to make plans for your future. Lulu, leave the pigeon. Sorry, poor pigeon. I swear the pigeons come to aggravate her now. They just sit right on the edge of the fence where she can't get them. So yes, definitely bringing in our balance. It's going to help you make adjustments where you need to. And so if there's anything like balancing your health, your finances, your relationships, your career, anything like that, any area of your life where you think, I'm actually feeling a little bit off kilter there, this isn't quite right, then this is the time to look at it, and the energy will pull you through into that balance. But you need to notice it first, and then align, and then that energy will just sort of shift you into flow with it, go with it. That going with the flow, definitely at this time. Oh, she's poor. Anyway, I'm sorry. So as I said, on the 23rd, we then go into our Libra season. And again, that's bringing our balance. And so we get this nice calm. It's a very even, sometimes it can be a bit mundane, but actually I think we need that after the last few months, that we need a bit more centered balance and calm that comes in with Libra. And then by the end of the month, the sun is in conjunction with Mercury. And so that illuminates any areas where you need clarity. So you're going to get that clarity by the end of the month on situations that you weren't sure about. I think that's that truth coming in. Things are going to get cleared up. If there were any miscommunications, again, they get cleared up. And particularly when it comes to communication. So yeah, just look out for anything there where there have been areas that you think, I need to know the outcome, or yeah, you're waiting on something. That's going to come by the end of the month. So that was our energy for September. Honestly, it's just going so quickly, isn't it, this year? And I think definitely August and this month are going to be huge in terms of shifts and changes, but I think there's going to be huge growth from that, and huge reward for getting through the next couple of months. But this energy coming in is a lot more balanced, a lot more calm, whereas we've just had, fiery Leo, and then we went straight into Virgo. The energies now are, it's not such a big step, the change isn't quite so huge, so it helps us deal then with those 3 major events at the middle of the month. So yeah, hopefully you'll have a lovely September. I will try and see if we can do something for the equinox or the full moon, so we can see if there's a ceremony we might be able to bring together those 3 elements. I'll have a think about it and see what channels in. But yeah, it'd be lovely if we could maybe all do something, a ceremony or something around that date. But anyway, lovelies, enjoy September, and I look forward to doing all of your personal readings very soon. Take care, thanks for listening, and I'll see you soon. Bye.